Welcome back to Surviving Horror, where we take a look at different games in the horror genre and dissect what is the scariest aspect of each story, in my opinion. This week, we venture into the year 2508 to talk about the Dead Space remake, released in 2023, developed by EA Motive. The Dead Space series began in 2008 and became a franchise shortly after, but due to Dead Space 3 selling below expectations, the series became dormant for the next decade. After several years of the fandom crying out for something new, EA Motive gave us a remake of the original survival horror classic. In Dead Space, you play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer who travels to the USG Ishimura after all communication has gone silent, only to find that an extraterrestrial force has run rampant on the ship and its crew. Unlike the last two games I've discussed, Dead Space plays similar to the traditional survival horror game. You're stuck in a spooky location, you have weapons to defend yourself, and there is an unspeakable horror hunting you. But what makes the game different from titles like Resident Evil or Silent Hill is the setting. Dead Space occupies a subgenre of horror called cosmic horror, which plays on our fear of the unknown and threats that are not of this world. And that is absolutely the most horrific aspect of this game, having all these questions about what you are seeing and having no answer to them. How did these aliens called necromorphs invade such a massive ship? How many of them are on board? Where is Isaac's girlfriend on this ship? And is she still alive? But let's go back to those necromorphs. From the design to the noise they make, these monsters are some of the most original enemies that I've ever faced in a video game. And there are so many different variations of them, keeping the enemy variety fresh throughout the game and adding to the dread for the entirety of the story. Every time you feel like you have seen the most horrific creature you can think of, something even more grotesque is waiting right around the corner. Even with all the awesome weapons you are given throughout the game, every encounter with a necromorph is a pulse-pounding nightmare. Something that Dead Space excels at in comparison to every other horror game is its sound design. My first playthrough of this game took about 16 hours, and there was always a chilling sound effect at every turn within the halls of the Ishimura, whether that be a clash of metal, a muffled scream, or a distant crawl of one of the creatures. Adding to that sound design is the excellent atmosphere that Dead Space creates. Bodies of crewmates less fortunate than you lie scattered throughout the ship. Cryptic messages are written on the walls in blood trying to warn survivors how to take out the enemies. Even if the necromorphs didn't show up as early as they do, this game would have been just as terrifying due to the visuals alone. The Dead Space remake has only been out for 2 years, and it has already become one of the most beloved survival horror games of all time. Even though EA has canceled a sequel for the time being due to lower sales than expected, fans are still hopeful that we will get another Dead Space experience in the future. If you have played this game, please let us know what you think of it down below. Check back with us next week as we set sail to the Barra D. This has been Jake Walker with Surviving Horror.